Hi everyone, my name is James Thewissen. I am Professor of Finance at the Lourim Institute of the Université Catholique de Louvain. When one talks about finance, it is common to think about boring Excel sheets, complicated formulas, or complicated graphs. It is, however, time to think about this discipline from a different and less reductive perspective. My job is to show that finance is not just a series of digits or a series of numbers, but it's also a rational and structured series of words. Numbers summarize information, however, words tell a story. The issue, however, is that so far, words could not be stored in an Excel sheet or in a traditional database, and therefore they have largely been ignored by regulators, investors, and academics alike. It is only recently that things have started to change. With the exponential growth of unstructured data and the development of artificial intelligence methods, it is now possible to automatically extract unstructured data from corporate disclosures. However, the issue is how to optimally use this information on stock markets. The objective of my research at UC Louvain is to better understand how managers should disclose unstructured data to investors in order to optimize the information value of their corporate disclosures. I adopt two approaches in my research. The first approach relates to the use of artificial intelligence methods to define more optimal metrics of tone in corporate disclosures. Prior literature tends to count the number of positive and negative words in corporate disclosures and takes the spread or the difference between the two. However, this approach ignores the context of the corporate disclosure. Our job is to actually define better methods, more optimal methods, to define better metrics, more accurate metrics, to better predict future firm performance. The second approach relates to better understand whether managers also manipulate the qualitative content of corporate disclosures. It is very well known that managers tend to manipulate earnings numbers or to evade taxes, but what we don't really understand is whether managers also manipulate qualitative content. We are one of the first to actually provide evidence that managers tend to manipulate the use of positive or negative words in corporate disclosures. For instance, we find that managers tend to be significantly more positive in their corporate disclosures whenever they're paid with stocks or stock options. We also provide evidence and actually very strong results showing that managers tend to be less optimistic whenever they're negotiating with strong stakeholders such as labor unions. This research is of great interest to managers who are looking to optimize the way they report the qualitative information to their investors. It is also of great interest to the regulator who are looking for signals that would actually indicate cases of fraud or accounting manipulation. Overall, I am convinced that this field of research will continue to grow in the future. Thank you for watching this video, and I'm looking forward to you reading my papers.